Fulani terrorists in Akwa Ibom. Fulani terrorists versus Governor Moino of Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom is a test case. We have them in several states. They're even threatening to attack the federal capital, Abuja. My name is Offiong Akwa. Welcome to the second edition of Offiong Akwa Simokas podcast. We had one the last time where we talked about Moino bringing in people into Akwa Ibom state government. The follow-up is that a well-known Akwa Ibom leader who supports the appointment of an unknown Fulani Haji from Nasarawa State. He supports it. To make him a member of Akwa Ibom government, he supports it. And he attacked me for pointing this out. He attacked me for criticizing it. Before I touch on the meat of this broadcast, I have one question for Akwa Ibom Governor Omoino, an additional question. He has not answered any of my questions. Why he brought that guy from Nasarawa and put that guy into Akwa Ibom state government. By the way, since he's done it, the Governor Omoino asked Alhaji Ali, who is now his special assistant, to assist in the release of Akwa Ibom youth corpus in his neck of the woods around Nasarawa there. They kidnapped Akwa Ibom youth corpus, Akwa Ibom children, in his neck of the woods. Families paid millions of naira. In the diaspora, people were calling. I was complete $700 to go pay these terrorists. They are from his place. Children, Akwa Ibom children, being kidnapped in the north is becoming fashionable. They do it. They think there's a lot of money in Akwa Ibom, which is not true, but they do it. So what did this Alhaji Ali, who is feeding fat on Akwa Ibom salaries and generous allowances, including a Toyota Corolla car, what can he do to help Akwa Ibom in this case? Zilch, nothing. He did nothing. In fact, his name was not even mentioned. So we would like to ask the governor why he did not elicit the assistance of this guy in the release of our youth corpus. Why not? He's from there. Why didn't the governor tell him? Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria as usual is in trouble. Listen to this broadcast as we are going to ask these questions. We could help you answer some of them, but we're going to have a lot of questions. I know we are using Akwa Ibom as a test case. A lot of Akwa Ibomites, even other Nigerians who are my subscribers, ask, they wonder about their own state. They come to stories to me about their own state and local political bosses and elites. It is time to speak about this. This broadcast focuses on Akwa Ibom elite's continuous attempt. This guy that attacked me and my broadcast and my points, I'm going to show it to you now, to genuflect in front of every governor in Akwa Ibom. They all kneel down. They all rush to Hilltop Mansion and stand at the gate. Nigerian governors in general behave like cult leaders. It's not only Akwa Ibom. Abacha gave them that constitution. So I'm going to use this guy to illustrate a big example below. A well-known political leader in Akwa Ibom State, long political leader since from after the Civil War, had taken it upon himself to personally attack me for my asking a simple question, for my asking Governor Moino to stop the alleged infiltration of northern terrorists by appointing a Haji Ali of Nasarawa State. I am conveying the concern of a lot of Akwa Ibom people who are scared of telling the government what I'm telling the government. Why did they appoint this guy into the Akwa Ibom state government? This is why the Akwa Ibom elite is angry with me. I appeal to my subscribers and listeners. to please let me use Akwa Ibom. It's a clear example. I bet you if you go into your state, you are going to see these examples. I bet you. This is an example of how state political elites blindly support every single governor on seat. I know we blame Abuja for a lot, but this thing starts at the level of the state. They support every government policy. All those elites, they support every government wrong moves. I can document similar behaviors that I'm about to expose today by parasitic elites in most states in Nigeria. I have tons of friends, I have tons of associates who contact me daily about their political elites. Akwa Ibom is a test case for the whole country. The behavior of especially these senior out-of-job, lazy political supplicants must be condemned. We've kept quiet for a long time. Why are we allowing greedy political elites who have nothing to offer except to kiss up to their powerful state governors against the interests of their own people? Nigerian state governors, they elicit this type of response. You say something interesting, something good, you get attacked. They elicit this type of loyalty from the usual lumpen political elites, like Chief Jackson Soniudo of Akwa Ibom State, who took it upon himself to attack the point I made. He should remember, Akwa Ibom governor is not a cult leader. He's not. He's not going to do him anything if he speaks his correct mind. He's the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Governor Moino is accountable to Akwa Ibom people. It's not his personal business. So we must speak. Nobody can stop us to speak. We cannot allow irresponsible political elites to hijack the state. We cannot. Many believe that the Akwa Ibom political leader, Chief Jackson Soniudo, that's his name, that's the guy who said Fulani should be allowed. Many believe that he's attacking my condemnation of Omoino's unpopular decision to appoint a Fulani Alhaji from Nasarawa State. It's not so much that it's an Alhaji or is from Nasarawa State. He has suspicious bona fides. People suspect him. So, what Chief Jackson Soniudo did is playing to two audiences in attacking me. One, his political masters, his northern political masters. And two, trying to curry favor with the new Akwa Ibom state governor, Pastor Moino, who was just approved by the Supreme Court a couple weeks ago. He's not even in the same party. Look, he was among those to rush and congratulate the governor, even though he's not even from the same party. The governor's party people could barely congratulate him, and the chief jumped. By way of introduction, let me quickly point out. Chief Jackson Soniudo was a former House of Assembly member in the Second Republic. But he decided to use an interview over the weekend to support the North. He decided to use that. Maybe he's using it to get an in to the new governor. That is his problem. We are not interested in personalities. We are interested in the interest. In the interest of 10 million Akwa Ibomites. So we speak on their behalf. But Chief Jackson Soniudo, an Akwa Ibom political elite, has decided to oppose what we said. He's considered by many in Akwa Ibom himself to be selfish and egotistical. People have spoken to me. He took it upon himself to respond to my broadcast. In fact, in his interview, he questioned my own bona fides, that who am I? Who, me? Giving sorry excuses. He gave sorry excuses, of which I'm going to address about the reasons. There's no problem. At this time, when there's Nasarawa is the center of terrorism in Nigeria, to appoint an unvetted Nasarawa businessman, Alhaji Ali, as special assistant in Akwa Ibom State. He questioned my very bona fides. That where do I come off talking? At all. So please stay tuned. As I will push back on Chief Udo, I'll push back on those reasons he gave for those appointments. I'm going to list the reasons. So I'm going to be fair. I'm going to list the reasons and I'll tell you why he doesn't know what he's talking about. But let me first introduce this old politician. He's a long-time politician. My age is not the issue, but he's a long-time politician. Let me introduce him to my subscribers and audience. Please take notes. Your state has people like this. Chief Jackson Soludo is a typical Akwa Ibom opportunistic elite who spend their time cozying up to whoever is the new governor and supporting every policy carte blanche, usually for what they call a pot of soup in Nigeria. He's a card-carrying representative of many Akwa Ibom politicians and political office holders. There are many like them in Uyo. These people reflexively defend the status quo. They usually act against the interests of Akwa Ibom people. They act against the interests of 10 million Akwa Ibom people. They move from party to party, like the chief who has moved from PDP to APC to APPDP. At some point, people get a headache. They put their fingers up in the wind and see which direction the wind is blowing. They look for where to go. Right after elections, they change parties. Like Chief Jackson Soludo himself is an APC member. But suddenly, he's shifting allegiances and giving excuses for the new governor because he has won at the Supreme Court for Governor Moino. Because his excuses does not make sense. So what he's doing is done for obvious reasons, and I have to attack these reasons. He did not speak out because he represents the interests of anybody. For those of you who don't know, Etinan is a very, very big group in Akwa Ibom. That's his immediate constituency. He's not speaking for them. I know that because Etinan people tell me that. He's not speaking for 10 million politically defenseless people of Akwa Ibom. He's not speaking for close to 170 million naira. Nigerians. He's doing this for reward. He believes will accrue to him and his family from Governor Moino. I stand to be contradicted. Please push back, contradict me. This is my fervent opinion about why he spoke out against me. This opinion is backed by history. I could give history. This chief, like many of them, please, is only a test case here, has played politics for a long time against the interests of their own people. As I pointed out, he was a member of the State House of Assembly when Clement Ison was governor. That's a really long time ago. A lot of us were in secondary school and college then. In the Second Republic. In the Second Republic. And please, I repeat, this is not personal. There are many of them groveling local political elites like him in New York. That is why it is time we address them. And in many parts, I bet you in state capitals, you have people like this. A lot of them in Nigeria. Don't get me wrong, some are young. The chief may be old, but some are young. So this is not about age. Let me refer to the short quotes he made, incredible quotes he made in the news reports, criticizing my pushback on bringing Fulanis into Akwa Ibom State government. You don't have to agree with me. I'll let you be the judge when you see these quotes. Number one, whether Chief Jackson Soniudo makes any sense, or whether he's doing it for himself. Let's start with quote number 1. Quote. In reaction to a statement purportedly made by one of Young Akwa in an interview recently, he said, that's he, Jackson Soniudo, that governance involves taking the right decisions and risk. What? Appointing that Haji Ali is governor is taking right decision? He's taking risk. He's taking risk, not right decision. And they refer to me as purportedly. So I just showed up from nowhere. I don't have a right as an Akwa Ibom son. Or I don't have any antecedents in my past to demand the firing of a suspicious Nasarawa Haji Ali into Akwa Ibom State government. Of course I do. What qualification do I need to speak out? I do not understand. I need to go begging in my ass. Is that a qualification on behalf of Akwa Ibom? I need to jump from government to government to government. Is that the qualification I need? Please let me know. Chief Udo. Good governance. Seriously? Good governance is not selling your people out. Good governance is listening to opposition figures. Good governance is me telling the truth to power. Good governance is not Jackson Soniudo kneeling down in Hilltop Mansion in Uyo. Today in Nigeria, terrorists are threatening the whole country. As we speak, just look at Nigerian papers. They have infiltrated several northern states as they are now about to infiltrate Akwa Ibom. This is how infiltration starts. From Nasarawa itself, where Governor Noy picked his appointees, they are assembling from Nasarawa by intelligence reports to attack the nation's capital. This is not news. And we must go there and pick our own government officials. Intelligence has shown this. This is why it's a serious matter for us. We will not allow this to happen. I mean, in Uyo itself, there are reports of Fulani hidden settlements and cells. I am going to go into this a little bit. There are. So if you are Governor Moino, why not respond to that? Why not respond to that security challenge? Why create an essentially useless Ministry of Security? The only new ministry he has created, Ministry of Security. That ministry right now is rife with nepotism, is rife with intramural fights, is rife with incompetence. I hear the new security commissioner is confused, about to even set this place up. That ministry is not addressing the security problems of Akwa Ibom, which I'm going to mention. That's the new ministry Governor Mo created. And we are busy appeasing northern interests. We are busy making northern Supreme Court judges happy. For what reason? Let me give you an example of even the locations people have found where we have terrorist cells in Akwa Ibom. I'm naming these locations. I'm inviting Governor Moino, go to these locations. Go to them. There's a market around New Uyo Stadium where they are. There's a market in Mbaritam. In fact, the market in Mbaritam is named Nasarawa. That's the market. Terrorist market. They're building mosque. The mosque is not for worshipping. It's not. And we know it. Those mosques have a dual purpose. It is our place to point this out. This has happened in the Southwest. This has happened in other parts. We must stop that. They are located at every and any critical junction on Akwa Ibom roads. People are telling us about this. A location at Ntarinyang, where the slaughterhouse is one well-known location. Akwa Ibom people there have been reduced to serfs. They do the dirty job for crumbs and for pittance. They have a bigger outpost in Eket, the terrorist cells. Courtesy of Dangote, another lumpen Nigerian elite. Where there's a huge mosque, almost like the kind of mosque you see inside the area. For what? For people who are oppressing us, people who think that Akwa Ibom is nothing. Buhari Fulani was, he did nothing for Akwa Ibom. Let me give you another quote. Quote number 2. This one is a direct quote. A direct quote from Chief Jackson Soludo's mouth directly. Not even a quote from the report. This is from his mouth. Quote, when you are outside the government, you can say anything. I have an experience on this. During the Akpan Semen administration, we needed to build a bridge across the Niger. This required having a trusted person or contact. An insider is always better. Unquote, unquote. We needed to build, Akwa Ibom need to build a bridge. Shouldn't it be built the other way? We send them money. They should be building the bridge for us. Seriously, Chief Jackson Soludo? What type of political slavery and feeling low is this? What experience we need to fight for Akwa Ibom people? What is his experience? What is the result of his experience? To push back and attack anyone with objective and independent views on Akwa Ibom state policies, on Akwa Ibom state governance. That's all I did. What experience do I need? What exact experience does Jackson Soludo have that I don't have? I would love to know that. He himself bounces from one political party to the next, begging. He himself said he waited in the gate for 6 hours for Victor Tar. Victor Tar drove past. Is that an experience? Is that experience? Boasting about having political connections with our slave masters in the north. Our political oppressors in Abuja who take all of our oil block and give us none. That is no useful corporate experience. How about experience caring about Akwa Ibom people? Know your family. Know your friends. How about that? Is that a good experience? Akwa Ibom elites like Chief Jackson Soludo, they don't care about their own people. I'm sorry. So you cannot speak on behalf of Akwa Ibom people when you demonstrably don't care about your own people. You care only about yourself and your families. Period. People have called me the whole night suggesting to me that Chief Jackson Soludo is attacking me to get Governor Moino's attention so that he can receive small contracts and they'll appoint members of his family to Akwa Ibom state boards and parastatals and other openings in the government in Akwa Ibom State. That's the reason he's doing this. I challenge him to deny this. This is very familiar all over the country. People who have contact me a lot. They've raised this issue about him. These are people who have interacted with him. This is very rare that people say, oh, this is the reason he's saying this. People who have known him for decades. This is what is said about him. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to end the political dominance. to end the prostration in front of dominant ethnic nationalities by Akwa Ibomites in Nigeria. It is time to end it. We call it a Yenu folk. We are still a Yenu folk. Our politicians are Yenu folk. Our people are not. Our politicians are the Yenu folk, not the ordinary Akwa Ibom people. Chief Jackson Soludo, at the twilight of his career, he must repent. Many say he should retire. I'm not going to ask anybody to retire. I'm not retiring myself. So let him continue. But he must repent. He must change course. He must choose the security and well-being of his own people first. He must. Before bowing to the terrorists being sponsored from the north of Nigeria. That is an advice. There's another quote in this incredible report. Quote from Chief Jackson Soludo. Our livelihood has been enhanced from assistance from such contacts and reliable relationships. We used it, that's relationships that he has with the North, to meet prominent traditional rulers in the North and others who had the ears of then military president Ibrahim Babangida. Unquote. Talk about political prostration. Talk about political slavery. It is unbecoming. It is unbelievable. This is a classic case of somebody who has low political esteem. He thinks others are better than him, even though he feeds them. We feed the North. I'm sorry. This must stop. He used to meet traditional rulers. How about traditional rulers from Akwa Ibom? How about that? How about meeting them? What exactly have those MIS and traditional rulers from the North done for Akwa Ibom? All they do is take. They all have oil blocks. Not one Akwa Ibom person has oil blocks. Not one. And Chief Jackson Soludo is criticizing me because I pointed out that the governor should not do this for the interest of Akwa Ibom State. They say Chief Ali is representing the whole Northerners living in Akwa Ibom. Is that not a joke? The North is very heterogeneous. He's representing himself. Some people think he's been sent to Akwa Ibom to spy on our securities. The MIS Chief Jackson Soludo worship and continue to worship don't care about Akwa Ibom. They care only about themselves. How many of those MIS have helped in the rescue of our youth corpus from the North? How many of them? Maybe Chief Udo, people like him, they will receive some dash or some small money or paltry federal board appointment. They always appoint a board. They send their cousin to be on board. Is that reciprocation? That is not reciprocation. That is actually corruption because you are getting this post for yourself personally and your family. And you help to continue the political enslavement and political exclusion of Akwa Ibom people in Nigerian governance. That's what you're doing. You are chopping for yourself. I mean, let's call it spade a spade. You chop for yourself, you chop for your family. He has that reputation. Let us stop confusing issues here. Let us be blunt. This is 2024. This year, we will be blunt. The era of selfish Akwa Ibom politicians is about to end. We will end that era. Or else the whole world will know about them. The era of failed Nigerian elites is nearing an end. Look at the federal level, it's a pure confusion. So we call on people like Chief Jackson Soludo to join us. Join us in this quest. Or else you'll be politically wiped out. We have our movement, Ibom People's Movement. We have other movements that are fighting this. Nigeria is going down the drain, ladies and gentlemen. Ethnic warlords, including Tinubu, is moving federal assets to his own area. I think about it, it's an incredible thing. And Jackson Soludo is fighting with me. Terrorism is in ascendancy. Just read the papers. The economy is crumbling. The naira is not worth the paper it is printed on. The country is teetering with divisiveness and hate. I ask you and others in Uyo to become a part of the solution, Chief, and cease being a part of the problem. There is still time for you to be rehabilitated. There is still time for you to stand by your own people. Another quote in this long report, because I need to address all of these matters. Quote, this is another quote in the same report. Chief Jackson Sondo added that an Akwa Ibom indigene, this is the last quote by the way, Dr. Asikbo Isenibo was also appointed as a special advisor to Abubakar Remi. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He does not know what he's talking about. Abubakar Remi appointed Chief Asikbo Isenibo, who had a doctorate from political science, for ideological reasons. Jackson Sonuda says that appointment means that it's not out of place to make such an appointment. Number one, is Chief Jackson Sonuda where this appointment was made 43 years ago? Nigeria has changed. Where is this man living? Does he know that Nigeria has changed? Does he know that everybody is very greedy, taking things for their own place? Are we now going back to the founding of Nigeria in 1914? Nigeria has changed. Today, you had a Fulani president who came, took everything to Fulani. You have a new president now who is trying to do the same. And Jackson Sonuda is still talking about Abubakar Remi, who was a progressive, who was working to help people. He was an ideologue. This had nothing to do with, nothing came to Akwa Ibom. Individuals who believe in his political ideology, like Chief Asikbo, were brought in there for ideological reasons to help him run his political thing. There was no Boko Haram then. Chief, there was no Boko Haram when Abubakar Remi was there. There was no ISIS of West Africa. Boko Haram was not there that is trying to take over Nigeria. When Chief Asikbo Isenibo was appointed, Fulani terrorists have now started taking over swathes of the country. At that time, the North did not swallow all of Akwa Ibom's oil blocks and give us none. This is 2024. We are on our own today. We invite Chief Jackson Sonudo to join us in 2020. First, stop talking about irrelevant issues that happened 43 years ago. Half of Akwa Ibom was not born there. The era of selfishness, which he is demonstrating in Akwa Ibom, is about to end. The era of failed Nigerian elites is nearing an end. The era of making up narratives. Oh, you know, somebody was appointed in 1970 to go and work in Jos. What the hell does that mean? Please join us for this quest, Chief Udo, or you'll be wiped out politically. We are going to tell Akwa Ibom people the truth. That Nigeria is going down the drain. That we have nothing. Ethnic warlords, as I said, are moving federal assets to their states. Did you see anybody move anything to Akwa Ibom? Did anybody do it? Islamic terrorism in Nigeria is in ascendancy. The economy is crumbling. And you are busy talking about what happened in Abubakar's time. You are busy talking about what happened in Remi's time. The country is tethering with divisiveness and hate. People are stealing the country's resources, moving to their own part of their own countries. I ask you and others, Chief, in Uyo, become part of the solution. It's not too late. Cease being part of the problem. We will never allow you to continue being part of the problem. At the minimum, our people will know about you. That is all we have for today. Ladies and gentlemen, but please remember to look out for my next broadcast, which is the broadcast I've pushed forward. I want to look at the waste involved. When Akwa Ibom government used billions and billions of Akwa Ibom money to build a church, a white sepulchre, whereas 85% unemployment in Akwa Ibom State has not been addressed. That I am going to address. And I will address that in detail. Any Akwa Ibomite with more information on that should feel free to give it to me. I am the voice of the voiceless. I will speak for suffering Akwa Ibom people. I will speak for suffering Nigerians who are now going through an economic meltdown and hunger. I am Ofyong Aqua. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I see our subscribers are doing well. They're getting us more subscribers. Thank you. And work harder. Goodbye. Have fun today.